Hey guys, this is your chaplain here. This is the first of my weekly devotions that I'll be putting up on 1-8 for you guys. And like I said before, if you want to watch them, you can. And you can comment, you give me feedback, you can talk to me about my devotions. Or if you don't want to watch them, you don't have to. This is not a requirement. But I will be putting up weekly devotions. I will also be starting a prayer request system where I know that there's a lot of things that we go through in life that we don't want to tell many people about. There's a lot of things we don't that we go through that we don't want to put on 1-8, that we don't want to confide in somebody else about, and I understand that. But I know that we do have a lot of prayer requests because I've seen prayer requests put on 1-8, and I've heard prayer requests. So what I'm going to do as your chaplain, I am giving you free reign to text me or to call me or to email me, if anybody uses email, or Facebook message me, whatever you want to do at any time. Just saying, hey, this is what's going on. I need a prayer. Like, I need you to pray for me. Or whether you want to meet up, whatever the case may be, I want to make sure that what you need gets covered. I want to make sure that I pray personally for what you're going through. So you can just shoot me a text, call me, whatever you want, and just let me know what's going on. Or even if you don't tell me the details, just say, hey, I'm going through a lot, can you just pray for me? And I'll make sure that I pray in my prayer time for your situation. And that leads me to my devotion for the day. And my devotion today is the power of prayer. And what is prayer? I'll just go into a couple of things. Prayer is not what most people think it is. It is not just aimless talk to nothing. Most people think, oh, you're talking to yourself when you pray, or when you pray, but does it have to be theological? Does it have to be deep? I'm not experienced in prayer, so I don't know what to say. Prayer is a conversation with God. It can be as deep as you want it to be. You can quote as many scriptures as you want. Or it can be as simple as, hey God, I need you. I need your help. Or, hey God, thank you for what you're doing in my life. It can be that simple. That's what prayer is. And of course, there are many different prayers that you can pray, and there are many different things you can go into. But prayer is very important because it is how you experience and you grow in your relationship with God. As you know, the key to almost any relationship is communication. Well, how can you have a true relationship with God if you don't communicate with Him? And so prayer is how you stay connected to the kingdom. It's how you stay connected to God, because you're talking to Him. Yes, God knows everything. A lot of people say God knows everything, so why pray? Well, just because you know something about somebody's life does not mean that you don't want them to talk to you about it. God, He loves you, and He's the closest thing to you, and He wants you to communicate with Him. And when you communicate with Him, He will start to communicate with you and through you to other people. And I was doing my devotion today, and I read, it says, the flesh is weak, but you don't have to be weak. You don't have to be. And I started wondering, what does that mean? How do I not have to be if the flesh is weak? Well, when you pray, God gives you strength. And it's a clear example when Jesus gathered with the disciples in the Garden of Gethsemane. Sorry, my brain. And He gave one request to them, and He said, all of you must keep awake and watch and pray so that you may not come into temptation. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. And as you see in that story, if you don't know the story, the disciples, all they had to do was stay awake and pray as Jesus told them to do, but they didn't. They continuously fell asleep. And as a result of that, they were weak. Their flesh was weak. But Jesus, he stayed up and he prayed. And while he prayed, the angels strengthened him, which enabled him to endure the cross. We can go into a million different conversations on that. And you can ask me any questions that you want. But the fact of the matter is that prayer gives us strength. And I say this to say this school year has already been extremely hard, probably for most of us, but I know for me. I'm already just booked, overloaded, and everything is going a million miles a minute. But through prayer, I'm strengthened. When I get away from my prayer, I get weak, and I'm not able to flow and to, make it from class to class and to keep everything going in my mind the way it needs to be, and to stay on task and to stay on track. And I get weak and I get lazy and I just don't want to do anything. But when I pray, God gives me the strength that I need to get through. And so what I'm here to do today is to encourage you to, even if you just pray for a couple minutes a day or whatever, I encourage you to pray and to ask God for strength and to ask him for his joy and his peace, and he will provide it for you. So that's my short devotion of the day. I got to run to class, but I love you guys. You'll hear me say this. You'll hear me say this the entire year. I'm proud to be your chaplain. It's an honor to be your chaplain. It's an honor to be your friend, but it's a greater honor to be your brother. And I love all of you. Just let me know if you need anything. Hit me up with the prayer requests. I'm always here for you guys. You guys have a great one.